Terence Crawford dubs the Errol Spence Jr. fight the biggest of the past 10 years. What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all. So, Terence Bud Crawford has dubbed his upcoming fight with Errol the True Spence Jr. the biggest fight of the past 10 years. And I just wanted to break that down, give my 2 cents on whether that is factual or captual.
I'm not the guy he fought to become undisputed. I'm not that guy. That guy was not that good. Regis stopped him in the first round too, man. Like, who that guy beat to be a 2-time world champion?
Alright, so, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, a huge fight. Probably the best fight of the past 3 years. You could say 5, but 3 years, I would say this is the biggest fight of the past 3 years. And it's yet to come. Could be a stalemate. We all might be going, you know what? This was a big old boatload of poo-poo.
This is a big old frozen chunk of poopy.
After it's all said and done. But I highly doubt that, and I hope it doesn't end that way, but it's possible. But when you think about the last 10 years of the sport of boxing, there were some big fights. Maypac was less than 10 years ago. We almost at the 10-year anniversary of Maypac, but that is still considered a fight of the past 10 years. You got Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder in there. You got Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather. You got Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman. Huge fights. All of those huge fights, and all within the past 10 years. I could go back even further than that, but no need to right now. When you just think about the fights that I just named, the Wilder-Fury fight, the Canelo-Floyd fight, the Maypac fight, I don't think Crawford-Spence is going to surpass any of those fights when it comes to like sales or people actually tuning in, because those were some huge fights. I wouldn't even want those two guys to feel like they have to set that type of precedent. If they do it, kudos to them, hats off to them. I'm proud of those guys for setting some new records. But I don't think they should have to shoot for that high of a goal, because they are the biggest two superstars of this generation right now, when it comes to the welterweight division. Now, you could argue that Gervonta Davis is a bigger star than pretty much everybody at this point. But when it comes to the welterweight division and people anticipating something, this matchup is the matchup everybody wants to see. So, I don't think those two guys should have to shoot for any high level goals, because whatever record that they do set, and believe me, they're going to set a record, whether it's hitting 1.2 million, 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. They're going to set some records, whether it's stadium records. They're going to set some records on fight night. But I don't feel like they should have to be like, well, if we don't hit Maypac numbers, this fight's not a success. Or if we don't do what Floyd and Canelo did, then this fight's not a success. If we can't surpass what Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder did, then we didn't have any success. I don't think they should look at it like that. If anything, they should be trying to compare themselves to what Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko just did, what Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia just did. Those recent goals, I think, are the goals that they should be focused on trying to set, And then if you hit a Floyd Mayweather number, if you hit a Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder number, that's just a bonus, But don't put that type of pressure on yourself to try to hit those numbers, because I think it's going to end up being less entertaining, because you'll be trying to fake it at that point. You're trying to sell us something instead of just having it be organic. And if you watch the first two press conferences, then I'm very confident that both of these guys are, they're doing their best to be organic and just sell the fight on the fight's merits.
He beat 2 champions.
Who?
He beat Yordenis, and he beat Ricky Burns, which was a 3-time world champion.
Troy who? Come on now, man. Come on.
Terence Crawford seems a little more excitable and excited about the moment. And, he's never really been pushed this big, even when he was with Bob. Even though he was Bob's golden ticket, Bob still wasn't pushing him the way he pushed a Manny Pacquiao or, a Floyd Mayweather when he had him. Oscar De La Hoya, none of those names. He wasn't pushing Terence like that. And I don't know why. Maybe it was Terence not wanting to be pushed. Maybe it was Bob not wanting to push Terence. Either way it goes, he didn't have the financial backing, even though, like I just said, he was the biggest star at the time until he broke off and Vasile kind of took his place, and a couple other guys kind of took his place. But he was the biggest star, the highest paid on Top Rank at that time. So I'm not saying that Bob didn't invest in him financially. Bob just didn't push him the way that Bob normally pushes fighters. I think that has a little bit to do with some of these promotional companies signing with specific cable companies. PBC can only push their brand through Fox. Top Rank can only push their brand through ESPN, and it wasn't like that at first. They had HBO at first. I believe that's who Top Rank was on, and then when HBO folded, it kind of became a problem for Top Rank. But as long as they were HBO, it seems like they kind of messed with all the sporting agencies. They just didn't go through ESPN and want to push whatever narrative ESPN wanted to push. Now it's like they're kind of the slave to ESPN because ESPN's got the money to back them, and same thing to a lesser extent with PBC. I just feel like that the cable companies are kind of why these promotional companies are doing a lot of what they're doing. I might be wrong, but I think I'm right. Anyway, so, I think that when it comes to what Terence Crawford had to say about this being the biggest fight of the past 10 years, I don't think so. I think that's some hype. Terence Crawford being excited about the moment. And
you forgot where you was at? You see that big old triangle right here, baby? Well, up here you got people like Mansa Musa, Bill Gates, all them really rich people. Then right here in the middle you got people like Drake, Lil Baby, all those rich people. Then right here you got some white people that got a lot of money, and then some black people that listen to the white people. And right down here at the bottom, baby, you got us, type of people that we got somewhere to live, but we can't go to the beach every weekend. Got enough food to last us to the end of the week, but we probably need to eat leftovers and not throw it away, right? So sooner or later, we want to try to get up to this one right here, baby, because that one right there going to lead us to a new position. But it's going to take us a couple skips to get all the way up here where Lil Baby and Jada Wade and them at, right? So with everything going on right now, we don't have the means to live like Lil Baby and them, do we? No, we don't. That's the answer right there, baby.
Once again, not being pushed as heavily as he's being pushed now. And he's taking advantage of the PBC machine right now, I think. He's not stupid. He knows when the spotlight's on him to use the spotlight, because if he wins, he's definitely going to benefit, but I don't see him winning this fight, And it might be a little bit of, hey, let me get the glory while I'm here, because I might be retired in 2 months. So it is what it is, man, at this point. I do think that this is going to be a highly entertaining fight. I think it's going to sell 1 million plus. It might not do 1.5 million. It might do like 1.2 million, 1.3 million. It's going to do some really good numbers. I think both of these guys are going to make a lot of money. I'm hoping for a rematch, but if Errol does what I think Earl's going to do, I don't think Terence Crawford is going to want a part. I don't think he's going to want any parts of a part 2, and I think that Errol might be moving to 160 pounds for his next fight. He might skip Charlo at 154. He might fight Charlo at 154. I think that is a huge fight. Big money for both guys. Be incredible to make that fight. In-house fight. PBC would make a whole lot of money off that fight. Very, very possible. And I think that would be a good warm-up for Errol moving to 160. But if Errol gets beat by Charlo, then, it could be a problem for his career. So he might just skip that and go straight for Canelo if he can get him. And if he beats Canelo, then what? There are no more huge names out there for him to try to face up with. But, Earl is a big boy, and after he does away with Terence Crawford, we'll find out exactly where his career goes. I want to see Pacquiao get back into the mix somewhere. Maybe he'll fight the leftovers of Terence Crawford. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that down in the comment section below. That like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely get a response on the tubes. So holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product on the channel, feel free to hit my Gmail. It is flockofcards@gmail.com. And we are live.
Slugger, shine like a gold bar in the Crown Vic, riding like it's a patrol car. Louis Keys finna set the city on fire. Chicks wanna give me time like a dope chart. KY Mozart, money like a loan shark. OJ in the cup, rolling like a go-kart. Okay, throw it like you try and get paid, then throw it like you try and get a raise. Hating on me, don't be trying it today. Eyes metal on your head like you try and get a fade. See, I roll with some real Louisvillians. My money like we had a deal with Sicilian. I said, I'ma come through in the old school bucket. Shove in the back, license plate, say Kentucky. Louisville slugger, knock it out the park. See them young players on the grind after dark. What's up? Louisville slugger, swing for the fence in the old school bang with the tents getting bent. And my old two bang, fingerprints getting rinsed. Got an old school dame and the lips got a grip. Said my whole crew bang, hit the strip for the grip. Hitting Pro Tools bang, real hits, batter zip. Okay, there's nothing you can tell me. Since I got a mouth full of Notre Dame helmets. Girls say I'm selfish, players think I'm wealthy. So I prove them both right. Player, get your flow tight. You should let me ghost ride, imitate my whole life. Louis Keys, so tight, I know. I said I'ma come through in the old school bucket. Shove in the back, license plate, say Kentucky. Louisville slugger, knock it out the park. See them young players on the grind at the dark. Said I'ma come through in the old school bucket. Shove in the back, license plate, say Kentucky. Louisville slugger, knock it out the park. See them young players on the grind at the dark. What's up? Louisville slugger, it is what it is. Don't talk about my crib, you ain't being where I live. They love me in the hood cause I been spitting game. They love me in the hood since I did switching lanes. I knock it out the picture frame when I entertain. I never been the lane, better not let me in the game. Okay, I put it on my back. WKY finna put it on the map. I said I'ma come through in the old school.